Mateo Karipa joins me now to unpack local business stories. Weakness, of course, continuing to dominate the markets today. What's happening?
Definitely. There was a bit of a rebound in the morning, Shahan, when the markets opened, and it lacked a bit of direction to go within the better part of the day. And that's because a lot of Asian stocks were also starting to go down, and also Western stocks starting to go down with the Brexit news that is expected to come out tomorrow. Of course, there are rumors that there is a deal between the UK, and the EU members, but nothing is official as yet, and that's also caused a bit of cautious trade on the market. So the local market losing that momentum that it started out with, and also the rand retreating as well throughout the day that hit out on retail and banking stocks as well. So that saw the end of the day being a weaker one for the local market.
Let's hope it's not a no deal, because that's been one of the concerns. That's not going to have very good impact on us. Let's talk about Sibanye-Lonmin. A huge deal on the cards, but there are some problems there.
Definitely 5 billion rand. This is one of the biggest gold producers, that being Sibanye-Stillwater, to take over, of course, Lonmin, a struggling platinum producer. And this, Sibanye says, will give them more influence in terms of jewelry marketing and also investment in the sector in terms of platinum. But for Lonmin, it's a case of being bought by a company that's a bit well off than they are. And also, of course, they've been facing a lot of debt and, trying to restructure the company. So this would be a breather for them financially if they would get this 5 billion rand to go through. But of course, this particular deal has to go through the Competition Commission, and that's what's currently happening today. The Sibanye-Stillwater CEO, Neil Froneman, speaking to the tribunal and saying, look, we think this deal would actually work out in best terms for platinum producers, because they've been under so much pressure in South Africa. But also AMCU, the union who is dominant at Lonmin, reminding them that, look, we don't want these job losses. Of course, Lonmin saying they're going to let go of about 12,000 jobs, but if the merger goes through, those job undertakings now become at around 13,000. And Lonmin says, AMCU says that's not an option for workers, and they're looking for a better deal where Lonmin can be at least more capitalized, especially after getting a metal deal with a Chinese company of about $200 million. They feel the company is in a better position to still keep workers and not have this mass job loss that is still going to happen. So the tribunal will have to look at the facts and what both parties are saying in terms of the merger, and decide whether the deal goes through. But even the Sibanye-Stillwater investors have not decided to vote on this particular deal as yet, because there is a lot of risk for them, because should they vote for it to go through, and it costs them a lot of money and a little return, it obviously would be hitting the company somewhat. But also Sibanye saying today to the commission that they're not willing to wait for this particular deal. If it doesn't come through, they're willing to walk away.
All right, that will be an interesting one to watch. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Mateo Karipa.